In 2025, a close friend of mine, a tax and finance consultant, got sick and ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, he got 32 calls from clients chasing him down. But his bank balance didn't move a single dollar. He told me something I haven't been able to forget. I thought I was a business owner. Turns out, I wasn't running a business. I was running a machine that shuts down the moment I step away. If you're serious about building wealth in the age of AI, burn that into your brain. His income was 100% tied to his time. He stops, the money stops. And here's the thing. This isn't a one-off story. This is the default operating system running underneath most entrepreneurs, including probably you. So today, we're not talking about working harder. We're talking about something more fundamental. Does your income structure actually have leverage? Here's the uncomfortable truth most people won't say out loud. The majority of entrepreneurs aren't really running a business. When you go from employee to entrepreneur, all you've really done is swap your employer for a client. Your time is still your core production input. There's a concept in economics called marginal cost. For an employee, it's straightforward. Work 1 more hour, earn 1 more hour's pay. But for entrepreneurs, there's a hidden ceiling on marginal cost. Your energy, your focus, your judgment. These are all finite resources. McKinsey research shows that for knowledge-based entrepreneurs, the window of truly high-value deep focus averages just 2 to 4 hours a day. That's it. Even if you push yourself to the absolute limit, that's the window you have to produce your best work. So the real question is your current business model set up to generate returns that go beyond linear, from those 2 to 4 hours? Because if it's not, the bigger you grow, the harder you'll hit that ceiling. Think about it this way. If you're carrying buckets, every drop of water requires you to physically show up. You stop moving, you stop getting water. But digital leverage is like building a pipe system. It's exhausting while you're building it, and you won't see a single drop the whole time. But once that pipeline is running, you could be lying on a beach in Hawaii and the water just keeps flowing. So, do you want more buckets? Or do you want a system that runs on its own? There's a line from Naval Ravikant that's been circulating in Silicon Valley for years. Real wealth is the stuff that keeps working while you're asleep. The core of that idea is leverage. But leverage isn't borrowing money. It's not grinding longer hours. It's not just hiring more people. Leverage actually comes in 3 forms. The first is labor leverage, using other people's time for execution while you focus on strategy. Most entrepreneurs think of this first, but it has a ceiling because managing people still costs you time. The second is capital leverage, putting money to work so it generates more money. This requires accumulated capital and has a high barrier to entry, so we'll set it aside for now. The third, and most important one for today, is digital leverage. Digital leverage is simple to define. You create something once, and it can be replicated infinitely without requiring your ongoing involvement. A system, a course, a tool, a content library. Once these are built, they operate outside the constraints of your time. You step away. They keep running. That is the income structure every entrepreneur should be building toward. Now, for a long time, building digital leverage was genuinely hard. You needed a tech team, a content team, distribution channels. But since 2024, AI has been systematically lowering that barrier. Let me give you a concrete example. There's a corporate training consultant I know. His old revenue model looked like this. 1 session per day, 30,000 per session, 100 sessions a year max. Hard ceiling, $300,000. That's it. No matter how good he got, that number didn't move. Now, he used AI to compress what used to require a full team, down to a few dollars in operating cost. He built out 40 video modules with AI-assisted production. He set up an automated membership subscription system. And here's what changes everything about an online course. The marginal cost trends towards 0. Selling to your first customer costs roughly the same as selling to your 10,000th. This isn't an exception. This is the window that AI has opened for knowledge-based entrepreneurs. And the only question that matters is, Are you using AI to entertain yourself or to build assets? At this point, most entrepreneurs ask the same question. What do I actually have that can be scaled? There's a framework for this called specific knowledge. It comes from Naval's essay, How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. The idea is this. It's the knowledge, judgment, and experience you've built in a specific domain, the kind that can't be standardized or copied. AI can replace standardized execution, but it cannot replace your industry experience. It cannot replace the way you read a client. It cannot replace the decision-making framework you've built from years of real situations, the logic you run through when you're negotiating a deal, the gut instinct that tells you whether a project is worth taking, the mistakes you made, and what they taught you. That's your most irreplaceable asset. The problem isn't that you don't have it. The problem is you've never treated it like an asset. You've been trading it for one contract at a time, instead of turning it into something that generates returns on its own. So how do you actually make this happen? Not everything is worth scaling. But if you want to build leverage, you need to start with 3 things. Step 1. Extract your core methodology. Take the way you solve a specific type of problem and turn it into a repeatable framework. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to exist. This is the raw material for everything else you build. Step 2. Choose one vehicle to scale it through. Depending on your business, that might be content, video, writing, or a course, a tool, a template, or a community. Pick one. Don't spread yourself thin. Step 3. Build the smallest version of the system that can actually run. Don't aim for complete. Aim for functional. You want a pathway from someone discovering you, to trusting you, to paying you. That doesn't require you to be present at every step. First version can be rough. Get it running. Then improve it. Let me bring it all together. The real risk facing most entrepreneurs isn't competition. It's that their income is structurally overdependent on their personal time. The solution isn't working harder. It's introducing leverage, especially digital leverage. And right now, AI is bringing the cost of building that leverage to the lowest point in history. The experience and judgment you've already built? That's your most irreplaceable asset. The only question is whether you've started turning it into a system. If you want a clearer picture of your own business, where your leverage is, and where the gaps are, subscribe, because next episode, we're going through the Entrepreneur Leverage Audit. 5 questions that help you diagnose your current income structure and figure out exactly where to start. If this hit home, share it with someone who's asking the same questions. See you next time.